come sit by the dawn. I'm dripping, I'm not in my prime, out of sight, out of mind. She callin', she all on my line, told her quit sniffing them lines. Too many niggas confined, tryna get plugged with a rhyme. Niggas, they wanna do crime, but they don't wanna do time. What part of the game is you playing? Better take heed what I'm saying. All of this pressure applied, the pressure has been applied. Open the door for the ride, gotta get closer to God. They put my homie in the head, making sure he ain't survive. Times could get hard with no fan. That's why I'm down on my knees till I elevate. Watch how I stick to my grind, I never get out of line. Bitches that pay the fine just to come sit by the dawn. I'm dripping, I'm not in my prime, out of sight, out of mind. She callin', she all on my line, told her quit sniffing them lines. Watch how I stick to my grind, I never get out of line. Bitches that pay the fine just to come sit by the dawn. I'm dripping, I'm not in my prime, out of sight, out of mind. She callin', she all on my line, told her quit sniffing them lines. Yeah. Don't get too comfortable in the streets, cause niggas, they love with that. Don't get too comfortable in the streets, cause niggas, they love with that. Yeah. Really got shit on the let's get it. I got a 5-course meal on my collar. You could eat a lobster and steak with a pot full of snakes. God steady blessing my partners. Bernie with the bowl, but I'm Trump with the dollars. Rapunzel on the wrist, rose gold, 8 hour. Head full of diamonds, hand full of scholars. Picture what you pickin', pickpocket, a robber. Batman trying to beat Bane with a bottle. Tell him sick come, he don't want a problem. Redhead still river dancing on the island. I'm from Riverdale, so you know I'm staying silent. But at the same time, my silence is a Bible. In the strip club, it's 30 on my arrival. They gon' either praise you or either dislike you. Either way it go, my sniper probably a guide to 360, so you know who I'm around to. Asking worker man, what the fuck you been up to? Feeding my families, that's friends who got stuck to. Yeah, cause and effect, off of my death. God only bring a real nigga to the steps. I looked at my phone, saw shadow with death. I turned Kanye cause he still gon' protect. I turn God when I roll up the dope. Roll up the dope. Roll up the dope. Roll up the dope. Whipping the ghost. Ghost. Whipping the ghost. Whipping the ghost. I peel off when I whip with the ghost. When I work with the ghost, with the ghost, with the ghost, when I work with the ghost. Amen. Pray to the coat, pray to the coat, pray to the coat. Amen, amen. When I pray to the coat, when I pray to the coat. Yeah, one soul, stay in my lows, stay in my lows, stay in my lows, stay in my lows, stay in my lows. Stay in my lows, stay in my lows. Pull up the rose, twist up the blows. Twist up the blows.
How you doing, everybody? SBtalksports, Shaq Barnes, Real Takes, So Fake Debates, the show. Here with my boy Sean Webb in the building. Sean, how you doing?
SB, I'm good, brother. What's going on? How you doing today?
Man, it's been an exciting day, man. Exciting news in sports. A lot of things has going on. James Harden just coming out saying a lot of crazy things. A lot of great running backs, you know, who we talked about last time, got signed. Former NFL star, or I ain't gonna say star offensive lineman, but star in the movie, has trouble in paradise with his family. And then we got a lot of week one preseason overreactions. But the first thing I want to announce is that, the YouTube is called Real Takes Over Fake Debates. But this is the Real Takes Over Fake Debate show with me, Shaq, a.k.a. SB Talk Sports, and my boy Sean Webb. We'll be live every Monday to Friday at 7, then probably like 7 to 9, maybe 7 to 8. Or how long we rock out. If y'all want to party, we do it all night. If y'all don't want to see all night, then me and Sean to go home and then crack us a Budweiser and be in front of our kids. Either one, it's cool with me. How you feel about it, Sean?
Man, it is what it is, man. As long as we get to the stuff of the day, man, I'm good. So
yeah, we're gonna talk our talk. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, join the movement, join the channel. Sean, so I think like we gotta address the elephant in the room first. So let's get right to it. I think we don't gotta waste the people time. Let's go ahead and do it. So obviously, as you guys seen, check the video on as Real Take So Fade Debates doing the shorts. I made a short video of that. Disgruntled star James Harden I guess he had one of his training cancel his event in China. Just openly, I ain't gonna even say openly at this point because James Harden this is third, fourth time I've seen him do this. So he been back in his bag of tricks of trade me now or I'm gonna make you trade me. It's called Daryl Morey, president, openly a liar. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and take the hand on this first. What do you think about James Harden doing this in general? And then how did we get to this point? And was he right or was he wrong for doing this?
So 2 things. First, I will remind people that only James Harden and Daryl Morey know about their conversations, right? And likely James Harden representative knows about their conversations. So it's possible that James Harden had a player option, decided to opt in because Morey said, "Hey, we'll accommodate you to get you where you want to go." It's possible. We don't know. It's all speculative at this point,
right?
But the other side of it is this is what James Harden has done previously. Someone said a long time ago, NFL players hold out, NBA players act out.
I mean, so from what history that we see, that's 100% true. That's 100% true for sure.
Right. So at the end of the day, what James Harden is doing is SB, you got small girls.
Yes.
If you give your oldest daughter a piece of candy before bed, and you tell her as long as she goes to bed every night, she can have a piece of candy. There might be that night you say, no, you can't have no candy tonight. Well, that's really what's happening with James Harden. He ain't getting his candy no more because Daryl Morey's giving him his candy. Gave him his candy for years in Houston. Yep. And now he's saying, no, you can't have no candy. Now what you going to do?
He can't. And I think what the problem with Harden is with me, I think he was wrong for just openly saying it like that because he's just trying to force his way out. But it's like, you got to remember, you ain't the James Harden from Houston. You don't have that pull like you did before where you could just try to get out of there. And then also now that Philly know that Harden wants to be traded and we don't have to trade you, either you go just lose money because I'm going to get what I want for you. We just got a guy on our team that just won the MVP. I got to get something in return that's going to keep us a championship caliber team because if we don't do that, I'm going to have another disgruntled star on my hand. In the process, and how can you explain that to Philly fans where you told them to trust this process and the process ain't looking like so trustworthy? And I think that's where the problem come in at for me.
Yeah, I mean, and that's the other part of it, that James Harden was supposed to really be kind of what saved the process. Because when you look at that roster, the only person who is on that roster who was drafted as a part of the process is obviously Joel Embiid.
The process.
Yeah,
the process.
But I think that just, again, the bigger issue is I think both sides could have handled this better.
Yes.
Daryl Morey could have said, hey, listen, we will always work what's in the best interest of our team, but also we do want to try to work in the best interest of the player.
Right.
So at the end of the day, that's what he can do because of his relationship or the relationship he had with James Harden. What that relationship is today, obviously, when somebody comes out on television and says you're a liar, if your girl called you a liar, it's probably not a good time in your relationship, is all I'm saying. So, and so I think, at the end of the day, James Harden, has to report to Philly as of right now. If he doesn't, he's going to get fined because he's under contract. And he's got to show you got to be a professional.
Yeah.
And go from there.
And then, from what I was looking at the report when I was pulling it up, and one part of it was saying that this from ESPN's. It don't say the actual article; it just say news source. So ESPN source says Harden's unhappiness with Morey stems from over the lack of a long-term maximum level contract offer. Sources said the team risks the possibility of Harden's arrival training camp bringing anything but championship mindset. Morey was Houston's longtime GM during Harden's 8-year-plus season with the Rockets. And I think that's 100%. It's literally money. And I think Harden took a pay cut too. So I guess Harden mindset was like, okay, I'm gonna take a pay cut for you guys, and once I take the pay cut for you guys, you gonna look out for me in the long term. And I think players should have take that out there, man. And I'm glad you got that head on your head, because Miami Heat is a perfect example of that. D Wade did that. Wade County did that for years, and when he thought he was gonna get his contract extension on the end, he ended up playing for my Chicago Bulls. So if D Wade couldn't get it in Wade County, how you think James Harden gonna get it in Philly? You ain't built no legacy in Philly.
So first of all, let's be clear. Miami Heat fans don't talk about that year and a half Wade was not there. It doesn't count.
It don't count.
It's a glitch in the matrix as far as we're concerned. All right, that's first thing. All right. Notice the other night he didn't even bring it up in his Hall of Fame speech.
He skipped that. He just act like it never happened. He's crazy.
It never happened. It never
Miami.
happened. Yeah, it never happened. It's like that time he went on a date with Star Jones. Like it never happened.
It never happened. It just never happened. It never happened.
All right. So, all right. So the second thing is, it's the risk you take, right? If you say, "Hey, listen, I'm willing to take this pay cut," then you understand organizations are always going to act in the best interest of the organization. That's how they act. Now, from Daryl Morey's perspective, let me explain this just for people who don't know. After next season, they will literally be well under the salary cap because all of their players, with the exception of Embiid, are not under contract. Even Tyrese Maxey didn't get an extension this offseason. He'll be restricted next offseason.
Yeah.
And they'll maintain the cap hold on him because they do want to keep him, obviously. But just to be clear, this was them to put them in the position to reload in 2024, the 2024 offseason.
Yeah.
So that's why they didn't want to give James Harden a long-term deal. Not to mention, let's be very honest, James Harden is not aging well to be a max player.
Yeah. And I 100% agree with you there, because now it's like I see a guy like Draymond Green, and you look at Draymond Green, why he got his contract, because his value shows where he's been at. And I feel like you said, what you expect from Harden is not what the contract that he wants is worth. And I wouldn't do it either. But I also want to acknowledge the fact I don't see what other moves the 76ers could make or would make, because I don't see nobody lining up the door to go to Philly, especially after this situation now to add on to it, plus the Ben Simmons and the Jimmy Butler situation. So how can you attract people to play there even if you got all that money?
Well, so I think 2 words, Nick Nurse. I think Nick Nurse is an attractive coach to play for. Players like playing for Nick Nurse, as I understand it. So, and it's going to be a pretty decent free agent class next offseason as well. Like it's not, it's not trash next offseason for free agency. So, there'll be some guys that will show interest in Philly. And it might be guys who played for Nick Nurse. There's a guy who plays for the Bulls, that was under Nick Nurse, albeit when Nick Nurse was an assistant, but, still. So it's not like Philly won't be attractive. And again, I think Embiid has pretty good relationships with guys around the league. You got an up-and-coming young star in Tyrese Maxey. So Philly will be attractive. It's just a matter of, is the situation one where it's worth it. Because again, I think, and I don't want to get into the new CBA because that's another conversation.
That's a whole nother beast. I'm not going to lie about that.
So we don't even need to get into that because we'll be here all night. But the point is that that's what Philly was ultimately trying to do, was to keep their book as clean as possible going into 2024.
Yeah, and I like that move. And one thing I want to say is I started show off wrong. I did not say salute to the chat. Salute to the chat, everybody in the chat. If you guys watch, make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Shout out Go. Shout out Jason. Shout out Tiffany. Shout out Khalif. Shout out Junior. Shout out Guerrilla Sports Media. I see you. Shout out Breeze. Shout out Depressed Piston fan. Shout out everybody. My fault. I had to salute to the chat. I was ready to get into the topic. I was ready because I was just like, man, I couldn't believe when I heard this earlier. But now I'm looking at it. Okay. Now, Sean, how can you, as another player with Embiid and Daryl Morey as a president, with all this turmoil going on and all the past history that you got with this 76ers team, and Joel Embiid's injury history, can you convince me as a star this is the place for me to go to win the championship? Because even Dame Lillard was available, and Dame Lillard didn't want to go there. He'd rather go to Miami. And I think that has to play a part with it, with his injury history and the bad management. Bad management for me.
Well, I think what Philly has to do is, and what players are going to look at, is strength of the organization. Let's be honest. Miami is a stronger organization than Philly. It's one of the best organizations.
Easily.
You know what it is when you go down there. You know who's in charge. You know who the owner is. You know who the coach is going to be. You know who their core players are. It's as stable a situation as anywhere.
It's Miami, and it's Miami.
But what I always tell people, if you don't know anything about Heat culture, you don't come down there to go to South Beach. You come down there to work.
Yeah.
You're gonna put in that work. Yeah. So when you hear people like Stephen Laude Smith capping about certain guys who were gonna go to Miami, I'm like, nah, because you go there, you're going down there to work. It's about the work. It's not about going down there to have a good time or to be prime 112. And like I say, on South Beach, and it's not about that. So it's a different animal. That said, Philly's, there are worse organizations than Philly. I think what Philly has to do is find its stability. And I think Nick Nurse will, to a degree, provide that stability, provided, he's allowed to do what he does best, to build a program.
Somebody in the Kick comments, I had to check the Kick. Shout out everybody in Kick watching too. Salute, calm impression. Somebody, Slobber asks, well, he pretty much just said, Harden's ruined the player empowerment, cry his way out of every situation. How you feel about that? Do you agree, disagree?
I mean, to a degree, but I mean, at the end of the day, the guys who sign 9-figure deals will always have power.
Yeah.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah, they said flexibility. He said they got flexibility to build in a free agency. I guess he was agreeing with what you're saying about the 76ers have money. I'm just not moved by it. I'm sorry. I don't think that nobody's walking up the door to sign a Philly. If I'm thinking of a lot of teams that might have money during that time, because I think y'all should be good too, Miami. So let's just say, I'm just going off a limb right now because I didn't look up. So let's just say like Philly, the Thunder, Miami. What else like a bottom nice team? Even Houston. Let's do Houston. And let's do an Eastern Conference team. What's a nice Eastern Conference team that like up and coming that might have money? Or the Magic. Let's do the Magic. And the Magic. Okay. Out of all them teams I just named, I still think Philly might be in the bottom half of that. Wow. I think because I think it was people that go to Miami before, Rockets maybe, especially the Heat. So I think maybe besides like Orlando or maybe the Thunder. So I don't know. And I think some stars might go to the Thunder before they go to the 76ers. And because I think they got better upside. I just think Joel Embiid injury history, even though he cried for his MVP, but that's a different story for a different day because we'll be here all day talking about that too. How he cried for that MVP and Perkins pulled the reverse race shoe card. We ain't got to go on to that. To get this man his MVP, he ain't got out the second round. He has not improved his game to the point where he can't pass out a double team to save his life or make the pass to the corner out the post to save his life, and he stay injured. I'm good. I don't think nobody's lining up to go to Philly.
I mean, again, I would say it's not the best free agency destination, but listen, money talks. And if you got a choice to live in Philly versus living in Oklahoma City, I think most guys are going to choose to live in Philly. No slight to Oklahoma City, but it's a reason why Oklahoma City has never signed a big-time free agent.
Yeah.
They understand what they are. They're a small market team. Build through the draft. They build through trades. They are not a free agent destination.
Yeah,
Philly is more appealing than Oklahoma City. The one team that I think will be interesting next offseason, and obviously we'll have to see how they do this year, will be Detroit.
Yeah.
Because again, the stability, Monty Williams, stability, Troy Weaver, the GM, stability, the ownership is more stable now. So they'll be interesting. They've had cap space in the past and been able to sign guys as free agents. Will they do it again, or will they continue to say, hey, we want to continue building, through the draft and through trades as they have the last few years? So, it's going to be interesting to see. But again, the part that you have to factor in is the new CBA. For those that are thinking about it, how's the new CBA going to affect how teams do business?
Yeah, and I think, and actually, I like how you hinted at Detroit. I think that Detroit is doing a good thing by just stacking up talent. I know a lot of people got mad. It was like, well, you got all these big men or a lot of these players who kind of play the same. That means they got an idea of how they want to run their team, but they need to figure out who's those guys. And I think, like you said, with Monty, now I can see Monty getting people to come sign to Detroit. I can see that. Maybe Nick Nurse. I gotta see Nick Nurse do it, because I know that he had that run in Toronto, and people don't understand that he built his way up through the G League, got a lot of love from other players because he won a G League championship as coach. Then they moved him up. So I got to see Nick Nurse do it. I wouldn't be surprised, though. I can take your word for it. I wouldn't be surprised if he do bring somebody to Philly, but I just have to see it done. Now with the OKC Thunder, even if, like you said, money talks, I see Philly doing the same thing they did with Tobias Harris, overpaying for a mid guy. But even with OKC, they might not bring nobody in to sign them in, but they can sign a trade because they got the pieces for it. Because right now they could get James Harden easily if they wanted him. If he was worth it, they could give a first round pick, and the Philly might take it, or maybe give up like Josh Giddey or something. But I don't know what's Philly asking price, and that's the real question I want to like stir into with that point. Where I tried to do a little soliloquy, didn't go the way I wanted. But what is Philly asking price, or what is a reasonable asking price? Because the Clippers said they was asking for too much for Harden. And what do you think is a reasonable price for Harden?
I think a first round pick and a young up and coming player, depending on your cap situation, you may have to throw in another contract just to make the money work. Okay. But I think you get a first round pick and a young up and coming player, that's a deal for Harden at this point. Again, understanding that your team's championship window with Harden is probably about 2, maybe 3 years at most.
3 years. Yeah.
So I think it's a reasonable, deal for Harden. But again, with Morey is obsessed with winning the deal.
Yes,
he's always been obsessed with winning the deal, and
everybody ain't Daddy Ainge now, okay, people. Everybody can't finesse the trade. You gotta take what you can get sometimes. Everybody ain't that sly dog that from was in Boston and went to Utah who finessed everybody. Yeah, he can't. Everybody ain't him.
Yeah, and so and I think the other thing too is like again, as I understand, the Clippers didn't want to give up Terrence Mann as a part of the deal. If you're Philly, you would probably want Terrence Mann because he'd be a good fit in the backcourt next to Maxey. So a lot of it just, really depends on, how they're trying to build a team, what they see as a fit. Do you have a potential guy behind Harden that you think can be a really good player? I'll go back sometime when Milwaukee 20 years ago when they traded Ray Allen.
Yep.
One of the reasons why they traded Ray Allen, besides being stupid, was because they had Michael Redd, behind them, and they thought Michael Redd could be a really good player, which he was a really good player.
Yeah,
but he wasn't Ray Allen, just to be clear.
Right.
So it does happen. You'll see a team say, okay, yeah, we can move this guy because we got this young guy. I think that's one of the reasons why, in my opinion, why Philly was okay moving Ben Simmons, because they had something in Maxey. I don't think they wanted to trade Ben Simmons, but they were okay with it, knowing that they had something in Maxey.
Yeah. Before I ask this last question, before we get on to this NFL thing, and you guys ask us questions more in the chat. Let's go to Kick real quick. I was going to say Twitch. Calm Impression said, I never had confidence in Philly. And then somebody else said same. They agree. I definitely agree with that. I don't have confidence in Philly. Your GOAT said Nick Nurse was horrible last season.
I mean, it wasn't the best situation in Toronto. They were up and down roster. But largely, we've seen him in his time with good players be successful. Simply.
I just think it's just time that they need to rebuild the team, let everybody go. They holding on Pascal Siakam too long. Build around Scotty Barnes and call it one. That's it. And I think like Nick Nurse was caught into a rebuild situation when they was ready to rebuild. Right. Raptors said they was trying to run. Thunder said the Raptors was trying to run Siakam at point. I mean, who else really was going to do it? That was a real question. Yeah. Let's next go. In the basement, shout out my brother Step. Shout out Step in the basement. He said OKC Thunder has 100 picks to give up they loaded, but they don't want Harden though. They don't want a toxic. They got a nice young core. They don't want to ruin that. They building something nice up there right now. NBA Highlights said they should have ran Scotty. Yeah, point I literally just said they should have ran that.
I think you'll see him play more point guard this year.
Yeah, for sure. Thunder said PG and Kawhi have a good relationship with Terrence. Man, they should. He won a nice young talent to that team. And what is Harden infatuation with going to the Clippers? I don't think it's a fit. I don't think it's a good fit for me. I don't think it. Where could he fit at? Because the reason why you want to live Philly is money, but he can't also disguise the fact that he was mad that he couldn't play his style to play with Joel Embiid. He didn't want to take a back seat. Or he was like, if he take a back seat, he just overpass if he don't try to score. And then you see when Embiid was out, he literally played the same way. I don't think we got Kawhi who needs the ball in his hand, Paul George who needs the ball in his hand, and we already seen the experiment with you and Russell Westbrook, and you didn't like playing with Russell. Yeah. So what's the point?
Well, he's from LA. I mean that's the first
about
thing.
it. Yeah, but go to the Lakers then. Take a pay cut. Go to the Lakers if that's the case. But he can't do that. It ain't gonna happen. It ain't gonna happen. Lakers fans, oh my God. If James Harden would find a way to go to the Lakers, oh my God, I would, man.
Yeah,
I don't even want to. Oh my God, it's over with. LeBron getting his next ring. AD is super team. It'll be crazy. It'll be crazy.
Yeah.
Shout out Sports PSP. What's going on, brother? He said James Harden will be traded, wear a fat suit, get traded, takes out the fat suits, and comes up short in the playoffs. That sounds about right, James Harden, like to me. I think he hit that right on the head.
Like the James Harden story to me.
Yeah. And then Steph said, that's his home. Oh, yeah, you said that. Also, if you guys love the content, join the Kick, follow the Kick Move. We live on Kick 2 at the same time here. Also, shout out, support the channel, donate. All donations go to the channel, will help us build, help us grow more. There also, if you want to become a panelist, well, I'm open to multiple shows. The basketball show coming up called The Starting Five. I'm going to bring different content creators who love to talk basketball, put them in the starting five lineup and have them debate and talk basketball sports. Also, we got All Out Blitz coming soon. The same thing. I'm going to get some of the best football content creators to come on, talk about it, and wrestling. So if you want to become a panelist and you talk certain sports, join the Discord or hit me up on any other platform and let me know. Say, hey, SB, I want to be a panelist. Okay, so the last question before we get off this Harden thing, I feel like we've been talking about Harden a little too much. What is the perfect destination where you would love to see James Harden in? Realistically speaking.
If he's not on Philly?
Yeah, he's not on Philly. I think Philly is the best place for him, honestly, but we have to take Philly out the way.
Honestly?
Yeah, honestly, yeah.
I think it's the Knicks.
You think him and Brunson can, I mean, not Brunson. Yeah, it is Brunson, bro. Yeah, Jalen Brunson. You think they could play together?
I think they could. Because Brunson played with Luka where he was able to play out the ball some and still be pretty effective.
Mm-hmm.
I think, Thibodeau would have to stagger the lineup some. But I think, he would be a decent fit. Now, they have like an all left-handed team with him and Jalen Brunson. But I think it would be an interesting fit.
Mm-hmm.
Again, you'd have to probably move RJ Barrett to make that happen.
But I'd do that in a heartbeat. If I can get James Harden, we gone. Let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it today.
I would be okay with getting RJ Barrett. Yeah. Like I think RJ Barrett, again, could be a good fit next to Maxey because he doesn't have to dominate the ball.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say the Knicks right off. Would be the
for me. What I think the best fit would have been for him right now, but I know it's not going to happen because of what happened recently. I think if he was on the Brooklyn Nets right now, I think he'd actually strive be real good because I think that's what the Nets really missing, like that dynamic guard scorer, and that could help Mikal Bridges get in his spots to score. the ball better because I think Mikal Bridges is showing more things, but obviously he had bad turmoil with the situation. So if I didn't have to pick that, I would say the crazy part about it is, but I don't agree with who you say trade. I say my Chicago Bulls. I think if we could get rid of DeMar DeRozan for James Harden, I accept that because James Harden has the ability to play make, and maybe we ain't gonna play no defense anyway, but at least we'd be kind of exciting with James Harden and Zach LaVine. So I say if I had to pick, I'm gonna pick my Chicago Bulls, but I will not trade Zach LaVine to do it. If I can get rid of DeMar DeRozan for it, I'll do it. DeMar DeRozan and maybe a second. And I think James Harden, if he actually plays the right way, I think he can help Vooch and Zach LaVine actually play really good. But we know James Harden not gonna play the right way. So.
I mean, both of them are expiring contracts.
Yeah.
So almost be an even swap.
That's what I like too.
Yeah. And Kansas City, I think it could be a good move. I just don't know if it moves the needle that much for the Bulls. I think it's just I think it helps, but I think it moves the needle for the Bulls.
Yeah. Somebody said, "What about the Pelicans? Who you gonna give up, Zion?" Yeah, I don't. Who you gonna give up? Because you got Bi who need the ball in his hand, CJ who need the ball in his hand. Yeah. I don't think that will go work.
I don't know if that works.
Salute G Money. All right. Let us know how you guys feel about that. I want you guys to comment below what team you think James Harden has the best fit, or also tell me, was James Harden wrong for what he did today in announcing that? Because James Harden trying to pull the same trade issues that he did. But since we talk about players, I know we was debating back and forth about what we was gonna talk about, but I think we should go about it this way. Let's go ahead and knock out these backs right here. Mm-hmm. Do you like the sight of that right there? Do you like the sight of this right here? Patriots sign ex-Cowboy running back Ezekiel Elliott to a 1-year deal worth $6 million. I mean, look, your face. Okay. I see the look at what you did, but okay. So what about this one? I couldn't get the picture of him in the Jets jersey quick enough. But what about this one then?
I love this signing for the Jets.
I got you. See, look, yeah. See, look, I knew I was gonna get you.
I love this signing for the Jets. I think this was a great move by the Jets for a couple reasons. One, when your quarterback's 40 years old, you don't want him throwing the ball all over the place.
Yes.
That's the first thing. And the second thing is their offensive line is probably their weak point, particularly their tackles. And one way to slow down a crazy pass rush is run the football, get the screen game going to the backs, things like that. And Dalvincook is a dual threat, right? So this is a great signing for the Jets. Does it make them the favorites in the division? I don't know, but it's a great signing for the Jets. This is a better signing than the Patriots.
Yeah, because I don't think like the Zeke move really moved me for the Patriots. I'm glad he got a job because we were just talking about how the running backs wasn't really getting signed and everything.
Yeah,
but like I said, Zeke has just been a red zone running back. Maybe that's what the Patriots need, and then with Bill Belichick, he could use him like that. But this Dalvincook move, and I think the Vikings are going to miss Dalvincook so bad. And if you telling me $8 million is all what you really had, he probably wanted more because the Vikings and he was there. But if you couldn't work out a deal, because you got Mid Cousins there as your quarterback, and you got Justin Jefferson who made him look great. But people forget Dalvin made him look good too, because when you got a running back like that behind you, that actually helps because that pass rush, the Vikings not going to look as good as everybody think they is. But shout out to the Jets because you get Aaron Rodgers and you go all out. This is what I like to see from teams. We got a great defense that's young, hungry, and showed promise. Our offense showed promise with Mike White. So let's go add Aaron Rodgers to the situation and then bring in for Dalvincook. Oh, man. Like you said, it's the only problem with them is that they're division tough. But this signing, I think they got one of the best chances to win that division because everybody else really got questions. What about the Dolphins? Is Tua going to stay healthy?
Right.
Can you guarantee it? Then with the Patriots, like, do we have to come on, Shy? Come on, Shy. Come on, Shy. Then who else? The Bills. The question with the Bills it's out of. They had a little turmoil going into the training camp, but once again, you still got to respect the Bills because they've been one of the best teams, if not the best team in their division for the last 2-3 years.
Right.
But I get it. You might always want to give teams a year to put it together, but Sean, I'm telling you, with all these, everybody got question marks, but this Jets team for me, and I think this Jets team will win the division. It might do it convincingly. Now I ain't gonna say easily. I'm gonna say convincingly, where they might win by they might be up like two games behind the second seed, especially with this move.
Yeah, I would. So I'll say this: I think I picked the Dolphins to win the division, just because I think their defense is going to be really, really good with Vic Fangio running the defense now.
Yeah.
The big question, obviously, is Tua's ability to stay healthy, but they got no excuses in Miami.
No.
The Jets, again, their one issue is offensive line, and particularly tackles. Can they swing a trade for Bakhtiari from the Packers, or something like that?
That'd be nice.
Yeah, or is there going to be a team that's, kind of tackle heavy and looking to make a move towards the end of training camp as you got to cut the roster from 90 to 53? I would expect the Jets to be in on any veteran tackle who becomes available. That will obviously, tighten things up for them, but I still think the Dolphins are the favorite in the division as of right now.
Yeah. And I agree 100% because I don't think what is the Dolphins really missing? I think they got everything they got to win the division. Their line's decent. They got it. Or Tua play, because people forget this. Tua play, he played good. It's just he got injured. You got the two wide receiving cores with Waddle and Hill. You got Ramsey. They decide Eli Apple. They got the defense all around. I think Miami got everything to win, but their quarterback is the problem. And if he get hit, I can't 100% guarantee that Tua's going to be there. And that's scary for me, where I can see Aaron Rodgers, even with a bad line, still make something happen. And I think that's why another reason to help Aaron Rodgers is this signing of Dalvincook to, stop the pass rush pressure, where you got a guy back there who can take off and give you good numbers and impact the game still at a high level.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
No, I think Dalvincook, his workload won't be as heavy with Aaron Rodgers too.
Yeah, and I also think too, the Jets, even if they don't win the division, I still think they're a playoff team.
Yeah.
Obviously, and everything's contingent on health, stuff like that. But I still think they're a playoff team. Regardless, they don't have to necessarily win the division to make the playoffs. It would help.
It would look good. It would look better.
It would help because and again, I said this last year, and I'm saying this again this year. There's going to be 5 teams in the AFC who think they're playoff teams that will be at home. That will be at home this year, in January. That think their playoff teams will not be in the playoffs.
Hey, Sean, I think the one thing that's gonna happen that's crazy, and I think because they always do this though, it's gonna be so bad that it's teams that should have made the playoffs in the AFC. In the AFC, they're gonna probably make a different rule change because the NFC is that bad. Where they might just say, "All right, we're gonna take 2 NFC teams off, just bring the division winners and then the AFC," because the NFC is that bad compared to the AFC.
Right. Yeah.
Because I think it's a possibility, and I love my team. It's a possibility that the Chargers couldn't make it. It's a possibility the Ravens might not make it. The Browns, the Jets. It's a lot of teams that's very good and could not make it. Right. Even everybody hyping the Broncos. The Broncos might not make it.
Right. Yeah.
It's literally how many, realistically speaking, the AFC, how many teams? Is it about 10 teams that could actually make the playoffs in the AFC?
I think it's 12 teams in the AFC that could make the playoffs.
And that's ridiculous. And we're gonna look at the NFC. It's gonna be a team in the playoffs with 9 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins, and they're gonna be right in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because everything about the Jaguars might not. Well, no, the Jaguars gonna win their division. I think.
Win the division. Yeah.
Yeah, because I don't. Yeah, because we gonna talk about the preseason. I know overreactions because I love Richardson. I don't really think nobody. Yeah, I'm thinking of their division. I don't really think what real competition do they really got to lose a division this year.
Well, Tennessee, will be tough.
Tough, yeah.
Tough. Whether or not they'll win the division is another conversation. Tennessee's going to be tough. Yeah.
Yeah, but Tennessee ain't moving me. It ain't moving me. Not no more.
I don't think they're a contender. I think that time is past.
Yeah.
But I think just given Mike Vrabel and the way they play for Mike Vrabel, they're going to be a tough out. You're not getting an easy win against Tennessee.
No.
So that's what I mean. Do I think they're a contender? No. But you're not getting an easy win against them.
Yeah, it's a 2-team race for sure. Unless Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richards look like the rebirth of Cam Newton and Christian McCaffrey or something in their prime. If they do something like that, then that's a different story. But I still think we need to wait our time on that with him. And then with the Titans, I just don't know. I think the Titans look good on paper, especially offensive wise. But can Derrick Henry still carry the same way and not get hurt? I doubt that. D-Hop has been hurt the last 2-3 years. He's like Anthony Davis now. It ain't like if it's gonna happen, it's when it's gonna happen. To keep it a buck, and I hate that about D-Hop. But
he went hurt last year. He was suspended. Remember, he was suspended.
Oh yeah, he did get suspended. He did. I forgot.
I think he was a good move for them. I think he's a good move because he'll help Treylon Burks and some of their young receivers kind of because he's a veteran. He knows D-Hop knows how to play the position. One of the best receivers of the last 10 years. So I think he'll help in that way. But, again, to me, philosophically, to your point, what are they going to be offensively? Are they going to be a team that's still going to be a ground and pound team? Are they going to be a little more balanced? Do they want to be a little more open to take some of the pressure off Derrick Henry? So I think it'll be interesting to see, kind of what that looks like for them. That said, Jacksonville is the king in that division right now.
Yes.
So, Yeah.
So, Sean, we're gonna grade both moves. I know we just skipped over Zeke because But let's grade. I want everybody in the chat also give me a grade from A through F on this move right here. For B personally, I got to give this move a B, maybe to a B plus. I think this is something that you get a dynamic, great one of the best running backs in the league for the low, for the cheap, and added to a young dynamic team. And I think this is a great move for me. I think this is easily to get one of the best backs in the league for the low and add him with Aaron Rodgers. Whew. So B for me. B maybe I might go A minus, but I'm gonna go B plus.
I give this move an A for two reasons. One, Breece Hall doesn't have to rush back. I forgot. I forgot they had Breece too. I forgot. It allows them to kind of work Breece back in naturally. He doesn't have to rush back. And also, again, the best friend to an older quarterback is a running game. And Rodgers, for as great as he's been, he's 40 years old. And Dalvincook can extend Aaron Rodgers' time in this league if they are able to be a balanced football team. So I give this move an A.
Yeah, for sure. I got to give it an A. Let me know what you guys think in the chat, too, and I'm going to check both chats in a second. All right, Patriot Sound X, Cowboy, Ezekiel Elliott. Sean, I'm going to let you go first on them. What are you grading this? Honestly. You got to give it a grade, Sean. Go ahead. Come on, man.
Let me ask you a question.
Okay, I got to ask something.
If you get a C or an F, do you make honor roll regardless?
No, you just pass.
Right.
You just doing something pretty much. You did right through. So sound like Sean giving this an F.
It's a C, maybe a low C, high D. I don't know. It just doesn't. Again, because again we've seen Zeke the last couple of years. This isn't 2016. Yeah. This was 2016. I'd be like, oh yeah, this definitely.
Yeah.
It's not 2016. So, and also he's going to be the backup to Ramondre Stevenson. I think he'll be good on goal line. I give it a C minus.
That's pretty much what it is. So, okay, is it because Zeke is low, or is it because it's the Patriots, or it's just a cabana of everything?
I mean, I think, again, it's going to be a matter of how Bill O'Brien wants to deploy what's around him. I think he'll be. I think Mac Jones should be better this year under Bill O'Brien than he was last year under Matt Patricia and Joe Judge or whoever was calling the plays. But to me, this is just a inside the 10 move. This is not he's going to come in and he's going to split carries with Ramondre. Ramondre Stevenson is their running back. Yeah. He's their number one guy. So I think it's a C, maybe C minus.
C minus. Yeah, I'm gonna go C too. I just think it's like you said, it's a bad move. It don't move the needle. I think this don't move them one game higher than they was gonna predict it during the season. It don't make them go lower. They're gonna finish last in the division. I think it's just it is what it is. They just gotta accept the fact. But if this happens, the Patriots finish last in the division. Is Bill Belichick gonna be on the hot seat, or do you think Bill Belichick just earned he got that allure of himself that it's Bill Belichick where he good no matter what happens?
I think
if you can be honest with it, keep it a buck. Go ahead. Keep it a buck.
I think this. I think, obviously when Tom Brady left, it was very much it was okay, they chose Bill.
Right.
But the Patriots haven't won a playoff game since Tom Brady left. They've been to the playoffs once, obviously, and got lost to the Bills 2 years ago. Yep. But, I think at the end of the day, coaches get hired to get fired. Pretty much. And as much as they want Bill to hang around and they want Bill to break the all-time coaching wins record, which he does have a chance to break.
How many more wins he need?
I want to say it's like 30, but let me look.
Check it out.
Yeah.
Let me check the two in the kick. Common Preston said he get that move a D minus. He said nothing. That move was trash. And then Jason said, while you looked it up, he said C plus. Y'all hating. I mean, we said C. What you give it a plus? What's the plus gonna do? It's 10 yard plus 10 1 yard. Like it's still a C. It's still a C.
Yeah. So Bill Belichick, he's currently 20 behind George Halas, who's number 2, and 30 behind Don Shula. So he needs 31 to break it. So conceivably, he would need probably 3 more years, at least to break it. So
they might let him do it. Then he said, Steph from In the Basement Podcast asked, did Miami sign that kid?
Yeah, Mike White.
Mike White. Yeah, but I mean, Mike White played good with the Jets, but it's because Zach Wilson was just that bad. And imagine, Sean, I forgot. I think it was on one of your channels when I was like hyping Zach Wilson. I still believe in him because I gotta say that I still believe in him. I just think he got to mature, and I think him playing behind Aaron Rodgers is gonna help him. I think so, and I think he gonna be ready because he got the ability. But I know what you're gonna say because you told me this last time. Where he play at? I'm like, because he was BYU, right?
BYU.
You said you know good. I remember you told me that I laughed, but I was like, sure, I'm telling you, he gonna be good. You like, nah, he ain't. He played at BYU. Don't expect nothing. And I learned my lesson with that. So now when everybody's hyping up Will Levis from Kentucky, I say he's a Kentucky quarterback. He's gonna be trash. And what he looked like in the Bears preseason, he looked at trash. But I want you guys' opinion on what we said about these 2 running backs. And we got to talk about the preseason too. But before we get to the preseason, I want to knock out this story real quick, and then we could go crazy about these preseason overreactions. So everybody heard of the football star, Michael Oher. Michael Oher, better yet known for The Blind Side. And obviously, you'll know from The Blind Side was one of the movies that I love. The Blind Side was a great movie. Let me move this out the way first. But here's the story right here from ESPN. It says, Michael Oher, former NFL player, subject of the Blind Side movie, alleges that his adoption was a lie. So it came like I said, everybody, we heard this story. It was a great movie. Sean, before we go into the story, not go to details, I'm trying to pull up this article. How do you feel about the Blind Side movie? Did you like it? I loved it when it first came out. It was a great movie. But sometimes when we see things on TV, it does not appear to be the same thing as reality.
So I'm never a fan of any movie that overly promotes the white savior. I'm never a fan of those movies. And obviously, that's really what the movie,
pretty much
did. And even Michael Oher, when the movie came out, he complained about it. He said it's not really the story.
How it happened, yeah.
So yeah, and again, as a black man, don't give me the white savior storyline for black people. Like, don't Don't do that. We're not doing that.
Yeah. And it made it seem like how Michael was. Like, only problem I did have with the movie, it seemed like they try to play like Michael was timid, but I'm trying to go with it. Like, they're trying to like portray other things about Michael. And then it made it seem like he just couldn't do nothing or everything else for himself and everything like that. That's the only thing I didn't like about it.
Right.
For me, from what I remember, because this was a long time ago. But to read the report, Michael Orr, the retired NFL player known for being the subject of the Academy Award-winning movie, the film The Blind Side, has alleged that the key part of his story reportedly made the Tui family millions is fake. He's saying right off bat it is fake. In other reports from ESPN, Orr filed a petition in Tennessee probate court allegedly that the Tui family, the husband and wife, never actually adopted him. And instead, he said in the petition, it states that after he turned 18, the couple tricked them into signing a document making them his conservators, which gave them the legal authority to make business deals in his name. Or lawyers reportedly found this conversationship or whatever the conversation, I said that wrong, but let me live, in February 2023, which revealed that Tui's never adopted. So pretty much he found the paperwork that they said they never truly adopted him. They made him sign some paperwork that pretty much gave them the right to do whatever they want to do with his name. But he did deny the fact that he had a relationship with them like it was, but he, like you said, it was a little bit over exaggerated with the Savior. And then now it's coming out they never truly adopted him. So how you feel about this story?
I mean,
hey, look, keep it a buck. Hey, that's why. Hey, look, Sean, unapologetic, unfiltered. I want that, Sean. You keep it a buck.
This is America.
Yep. Man.
America. And I'm never surprised when certain people make their name and their claim and their fame off of somebody else's black or brown back. This is America.
Hey, I'm speechless off that. Look, that's why I love Sean, bro. Because Sean keep it a buck, he gonna keep it real. Because I mean, welcome to do your history. And then, this situation looked just like how America was built. Somebody else getting rich off somebody else back. Hey, look, that's the truth. But I think, because other thing is, during his career, Michael Orr said he knew something was wrong with the situation, but he said in his career, he was kind of worried about his career, so he didn't really look into it. And also, I think even in the NFL making money, and you got to worry about being a good player every year. Because people forget he won a Super Bowl with the Ravens in, was it like 2012?
2012, yeah.
2012, yeah. So you making money, and you ain't worried about your career, so you ain't looking at it. So now it's like he got all the time in the world, and the NFL money ain't coming in every day. I think I'll go look and see what's going on with my money, too. Because I'm like, all right, wait a minute. Y'all getting residuals off this movie? I ain't getting no residual. No, something wrong. Something ain't right. So I hope the best for the Tui family and Orr, because I guess he said, because he do have true love for this family, these his people. So I guess the relationship was real, but the over exaggeration of the movie, like you said, the save or over save him, that was over exaggerated. But the relationship that they had allegedly was real. And because he said he bought the son his first car, he helps the daughter with her cookie business and everything. So I guess they had a real enough relationship where that he could trust them enough to buy stuff for them. So I wish the best for them. I don't really got too much go into detail of this. But what we want to really talk about is overreaction from and go crazy with NFL preseason 1. Once again, I told you the first show when Sean first episode here, shout out episode 7 and more episodes to come in the making. I told Sean, I really don't pay attention to preseason. If I'm just chilling, I'm not doing nothing, I might watch it because of these things happen. And one of the first things that happened, and I told Sean what I watched, and I'm going to make sure I go look at the exact stats of the game. It was Bears. I was at work. It was Bears versus Titans. Everybody lost their marbles. Oh, I'm like, man, Justin Fields, yeah, going crazy. I'm like, okay. I'm like, what did he do crazy? So Justin Fields' exact stats. Where is the stats? Yeah, let me go box score. There you go. Let me look at these stats for Mr. Fields. And I think Justin Fields, before I say this, Justin Fields will be great. I got the Bears actually winning the division. This man went 3 for 3, 129 yards, and 2 touchdowns. You would be like, oh my God, he was throwing bombs. 2 of them passes was screen passes, and DJ Moore ran for about 40 yards. And then who the other touchdown? Who was the other one from? It was Khalil Herbert off a screen pass. He ran for 50. To be exact, DJ Moore, 1 reception, 62 yards. But he caught it at like the 2-yard line, and he ran 60 of that yards. Khalil Herbert caught it on like the 3-yard line and ran 53 of those yards. But y'all acting like he out there like Patrick Mahomes out here bombing. He threw 3 passes. And this is why I don't pay attention to the preseason. And like I said, this coming from a guy, I got love for Fields. He made me start back liking the Bears because I never thought in my lifetime, I thought it was going to be an old man with the Bears drafted a black quarterback. I'm surprised about that, but it happens. So I'm back supporting the Bears. He's going to be great. But y'all sit here gassing like he came out there like Patrick Mahomes. We got to chill. And this is why I don't watch the preseason, Sean. So my overreaction goes for maybe because I'm here in Chicago, so I heard it more. Chicago Bears fans with Justin Fields overreact. That's my overreaction. Sean, who your preseason overreaction?
Oh, God. Besides Justin Fields.
So Justin Fields was one for you, too. So it was one for, they was going crazy, bro.
This Dallas Cowboy, Deuce Vaughn. The running back up guy.
Don't hurt my soul. I love Deuce because he give me the heart of the little guy. I'm rooting for Deuce though.
I'm here like, oh yeah, he's gonna take over the rushing duties from Tony Pollard. I was like, let's come on, y'all.
Come on, man.
Like, come on, man.
He's gonna be a utility back. Yeah, they're gonna put him in different places, in different schemes. He might be like a Darryl Sproles. That's what I hope he be.
That's what I think he is. I think he's a Darryl Sproles. A Tariq Cohen, he's a situational back. You use him in different formations. But it's like, come on, man! Like
they was wilding. They was wild. I mean, Justin Fields was wild. And also, I want you guys to know in the chat too, who is the one player that you guys think everybody overreacted to off the preseason?
Yeah.
Now, one thing I want to do say that I did like though that I see when my Chargers played the Rams. We was getting to that quarterback. I was like, all right, that's what I like to see. That was Bennett, man. That man looked like he didn't belong in the league. But like I said, I'm not going to overreact. It's the preseason, but I did like that I seen like, okay, maybe get improvements. We get better at getting the quarterback. What is something that you like but did not overreact to?
So I did like Jordan Love, how he looked. I didn't overreact to it. I did like how he looked against the Bengals. I thought he looked sharp. He looked decisive. He missed a couple throws, but that's to be expected. And I think Jordan Love can have a very good season. And I think the Packers are in the mix in the NFC to make the playoffs. I don't think they win the division. I think that's the Lions. But I think they're in the mix in the NFC to make the playoffs. And he could very well have a 2008 Aaron Rodgers kind of season. So I think it's going to be, I didn't overreact, but it was good to see him, play well in his limited time and show, some of his potential.
Did you get a chance to look at any other like the rookie QBs? Because I know a lot of people said I seen CJ Stroud. I did see that hit, and I seen he threw a pick, and it was a bad pick at that. It was bad.
He was late. What people, a lot of people don't realize is, and what rookie quarterbacks always struggle with, oftentimes is the throwing windows in college are like this.
Yeah,
it's
NFL.
It's like this. So. Really have to, you can't be late. If you're late in the NFL, you're gonna get kicked. It's going up.
It do every time. And then I also seen I was watching a little bit when I was preparing for the show, a little bit of Anthony Richard highlights. So I pretty much seen how they finna run him. They finna run that option to death. But I think it's gonna be great with him and Jonathan Taylor. But I just wish they had somebody starting before him. I want him to sit a year and watch. But if you got no choice to throw him in the fire, throw him in the fire, because I think I want to. He's got all the intangibles. He got the size, he got the athleticism, he got the arm, but he don't have the accuracy. And once again, what you just said, the NFL windows are very small. So you need to have your timing right and your accuracy right, because even if you can time it right, but if you're not accurate, going the other way.
Well, part of it too, SB, is he only started 12 games in college.
Yeah.
So, a lot of NFL personnel men and coaches, they want a certain number of starts from a quarterback before because some teams won't even pick guys if they don't have a certain number of starts. Right. So usually you want to be able to see 2 years of starts from a guy. He's got one. And so that was a little scary. He is raw. He does have a lot of intangibles and a lot of things you obviously can't teach.
Yeah, you can.
Certainly. And we talked about him the other night. You compare him to Cam Newton. I think he's a bigger Steve McNair.
Yeah, that's a good compliment to give him a big Steve McNair. That's an excellent compliment.
He's a bigger Steve McNair. He's a man amongst boys when he's out there. That said, there's things he's gonna have to learn and to shore up. And it's you can throw the ball 80 yards. That's great, but can you get the 5-yard completion? You drop and throw with timing. Can you throw guys open? Can you throw with anticipation? So I think that's really what it comes down to. And I think he'll get better at that over time. But it's just the nuances of the game that he's gonna have to figure out and learn. And also, again, Shane Steichen, he had a lot of success with Jalen Hurts.
Yeah.
And it'd be, interesting to see, if he's able to translate some of that success he had with Jalen Hurts in Philly. And he was with Justin Herbert as well. For that. Can he translate that and say, hey, we're going to build this offense around this guy's skill set for the long term, and lean very heavily early on Jonathan Taylor, who obviously was one of the best backs in the league.
And they already do that anyway. Yeah. And then before I ask about Bryce Young, because I didn't get, if you got any info on Bryce Young, because I didn't get to see him. Did he play yet? Did Bryce play or no?
He played a little bit the other night. Yeah.
Okay. Do you think maybe bringing a guy like Cam in as a backup to help Anthony Richardson? Because obviously I think they're gonna try to use that play style with him. What do you think that help, or like you don't think Cam will actually play that mentorship role and really help him?
I mean, I think it could. It can never help adding talent to your team. I think though the one thing about Cam is such a big personality. You want that big personality around your young quarterback. Yeah. And if he struggles, they're
gonna be calling put Cam in.
We're calling for Cam. I think Gardner Minshew is a solid young quarterback. I don't know who their third quarterback. No, they got Sam Ellinger. But it's, to me, it's going to come down to coaching and what kind of mentorship Anthony Richardson's getting. So I think at the end of the day, I agree with you. I wish they would just start Minshew and just bring Anthony Richardson along slowly, but it doesn't seem like they're going that route. It seems like they are setting Anthony Richardson.
They love Anthony Richardson, and I don't blame him. Like I said, like you said, he got things that you cannot teach. Like the man jumping high as Justin Jefferson. He running like running backs. He throwing like Josh Allen. This is like he like a creative player. He is, but I think he just don't have the experience, and I feel like I don't want them to waste a great talent, because if Anthony Richardson could get his accuracy right in the build, that's going to change the whole dynamic. Because already with Jalen Hurts did what he did. But see, with Jalen Hurts had the same problem, where Jalen Hurts had all the intangibles coming up, where it's like you had to question his accuracy. He had the arm, where the arm was a little bit, his arm ain't like a strong Anthony Richardson, but he can still sling that thing. But he's big. He can run with the best of them. But the difference between Jalen Hurts and Anthony Richardson is experience. Because people don't. Jalen Hurts was in Alabama, he went to Oklahoma, And people forget Jalen Hurts was the lead head horse of getting out, even though I know it's Alabama. They're going to say it's Alabama, they was going to win regardless, but he was still the guy until he got hurt in the championship game. I believe it was the championship game he got hurt and Tua came in, right? Or was it the bowl?
It was the bowl game. So in the championship game, he wasn't effective.
Yeah, he wasn't effective. And then
they brought Tua in, and Tua, led him. And then the next year, Tua gets hurt in the SEC championship game in Georgia, and then Jalen Hurts comes in and plays well, and he transfers to Oklahoma. Which we know what he did at Oklahoma.
Yeah.
But the thing about Jalen Hurts is Jalen Hurts understood where he needed to get better, and he's gotten better. And again, it's the unfortunate part with some athletic quarterbacks is they lean so heavily on that. They don't do what Steve Young always talks about is, Steve Young was a very good athlete. He could run, he could scramble, he could move around. But what he had to get better about was the nuance of playing the position from the pocket. Because at the end of the day, it's about your ability to deliver the ball from the pocket in situations where you have to throw the football and the defense knows you have to throw the football. And that's where you got to see the growth of someone like Anthony Richardson. So, and I think it's going to happen for him because, again, I want to say this real quick, SB.
Go ahead.
I look at when a quarterback gets drafted, I always look at the history of those franchises they go to. The Colts have a franchise history of developing franchise quarterbacks. Peyton Manning, for as good as he was at Tennessee, he still had to grow.
Yes. And he was terrible coming in the league.
Yeah.
People forget that.
Yeah. And, in his first 5 years, he threw 100 interceptions. But they were willing to go through the process. They were willing to build things around him, which is why they go get Edgerrin James the next year. And Edgerrin James leads the league in rushing his first 2 years with the Colts to take some of the pressure off of Peyton Manning. They say, hey, we got Marvin on one side. Let's go get a Reggie Wayne.
Right.
Get a Dallas Clark. Let's be dynamic at the tight end. You know what? We see the league transitioning to using the slot more. Let's go get a Brandon Stokely. So they were able to build it, around Peyton Manning and while he's developing and growing. They tried to do the same thing with Andrew Luck, although they didn't do too well with the offensive line. They tried to do the same thing with Andrew Luck, and obviously we know what happened to him. Do understand how to take care of a young potential franchise quarterback. So Anthony Richardson, I think, from an organization standpoint, is in a good place.
Yes.
And again, he's got a young head coach who's shown he can develop quarterbacks. Let's see, give him time. I think he can be, in my opinion, he could be the best quarterback in this draft class in 5 years.
I think if they develop him right, I think he'll be in the conversation as the best quarterback in the league within the next 5 years, like top 5. Because he got because also the league is stemming towards what that type of quarterback is because of Mahomes. Because he got everything you need. I just think he just need to get his timing and his accuracy on point. I don't see nothing that he can't do. Yeah. It's bad enough that he's in the AFC because if he's the NFC, he'll get way more credit because he'll be in the playoffs easily. And maybe that's why the Colts are just saying, let's forget it. Let's just play him because we're not really playing to win. We know we bottom feeders in the division. Even if we make the playoffs, we're going to get our head pushed in the playoffs. So let's just let the guy get the experience because that's the main problem that Anthony Richardson have is experience. And the best way to learn is through that. Only problem that I have with him, can't nobody do what Peyton Manning did his first couple of years in the league and survive in this era because of the social media era. They'll kill him. He won't, because Peyton Manning, thank God he played around his time he did, because he played today and he started his career he did, we never got to see Peyton Manning. They would have booed him out the stage. There'd have been all these social media posts. It'd been people on podcasts like me and you calling him trash. He needs to lose his job. But now that says it's not true because sometimes you need to give guys time to develop because if somebody's a hidden gem, give them time to develop. Let me see. So Shaq Goat said, like up the stream. Sean Brewer said the Texans ain't got no line. That's true. Cam probably tried to take his starting spot, which is 100% true. Shout out GOT. He said he should not start. And also, GOT, thank you for the subscription to the channel. Junior said give him time. Shout out Brother O in the building. What's up, Brother O? He says salute. Yeah, shy. But Yeah, I think that's really all that's in the news today. Unless you got something you want to bring off the top of the top rope today, nothing too crazy.
No, nothing crazy.
Nothing too crazy today. We ain't got to overgas it. If we ain't got nothing, we got early. Go ahead, like I said, go crack you a cold brewski. I got you in Miami. Go ahead, put you something in the pineapple. You got your Miami, get your Miami vibe on.
Man, this is what I drink. This is all I drink. No sponsorships, but this is what I drink.
Water. Yeah. Now, if you want to, now if you guys want to sponsor me and Sean, please let me know. Hit us at business at SBtalksports or .com, or hit us at a business at realtakesoffaith.com. We take our sponsorships that we could for the show. Yes. And also, I want to say that's everybody know this is the Real Takes Over Fake Debate show with Shaq Barnes, aka better known as SB Talk Sports, and Sean Webb. It's every Monday and Friday from 7 to probably an hour, maybe 8, maybe 9. If it's news heavy, we'll probably do 2. But if not, like I said, if it's a slight news day right now, it'll be probably like an hour. So from 7 to 9, come check us out. Because when the season starts, we're gonna have a lot to say. Especially, I'm glad we started in the football too. Also, Sean, I'm gonna hit you up. But before, stay back for a second because I gotta talk to you about another idea for another service that we might could get a lot of traction from, but it's gonna be football related too, and obviously the best time to do it. So, any question from you guys in the chat, man? Salute the champion. Salute action. Rundown. Appreciate everybody coming through to the show. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, tell a friend about Real Takes Over Fake Debates, the show with Sean and Shaq. And we will catch you guys on the next one. Sean, anything you want to say while we leaving out?
No, I just want to make sure nobody has any questions or anything we can answer because, we're not back on until Friday. So, got any questions for us, drop in the chat real quick. But otherwise, great show.
Yes, sir.
And looking forward to Friday doing this again.
Hey, Sean, I'm going to let you know this right now, too, while we wait for questions for the chats while here go Tiffany with this Lamar Jackson cap. Everybody who heard the show, they was like, bro, I love you and Sean Dynamic. This show good. The first thing I said, bro, he said, you and Sean do it. I was like, yeah. This was already in the making, and I got to give credit to Sean. Sean seen the vision with this, but I love the dynamic, the chemistry we get. So I can't wait till we get to this intense stuff. But everybody who heard our first episode, they said they love the dynamic that we had, man. So
yes, and I promise y'all, I just want to say, I promise y'all, I will not let SB pump up the Chargers or the Bulls too much. All right, I will bring him back down when he gets crazy about the Chargers or the Bulls.
MVP, man. Yeah, it's gonna happen. I'm telling you. Come on, Mouse. Okay, well, whatever. MVP. I'm telling you, I don't care. Patrick Mahomes was not MVP. No, we're not gonna do it. Justin the Fields. No, Fields ain't win no MVP. Look, I think I started a crazy dynamic with telling everybody Justin Herbert gonna win MVP, but I got good reasoning, and I think he could do it. So we could right before the season start, we're gonna do our season prediction. We could probably put a funny challenge. Like, I don't like when people always want to like, bet money. Nah, I like to do something entertaining, like how the Kelsey brothers. I ain't saying we're gonna shave each other head. Well, obviously you ain't got the hair shine, so I'm not gonna put my hair on the line. But we can add some entertainment, fun dynamic. We're gonna put a bet to it, and we're gonna see who got the best rewards or something. I don't know. Maybe we can probably get like a jersey of each other rival team. You got to wear it on stream. I ain't gonna lie. Seeing Sean in the Chargers jersey, I'm with that. I'm with that, chap.
I actually have a LT Chargers jersey.
No. It's gonna be Justin Herbert. I want Justin.
At least wear a brother. I mean, at least a brother. I mean,
a brother.
Can it be a brother?
Oh, okay. Let me think. What about the rookie QJ? What if I get the QJ shirt? QJ, the wide receiver.
Can he do something in the league first before I have?
You can't be picky, man. All right, what about Derwin James? What about Dewey?
I ride, Derwin's Florida State. I ride Derwin James.
Dewey, okay, Dewey. And he from Florida. See, we're 2 and 2 together. We do it. And then I guess what your team is the Saints.
Yeah.
I do an Alvin Kamara shirt or a jersey, maybe.
I mean,
I ain't wearing no Derek Carr. It's nothing.
Oh, no, I'm not wearing no Derek Carr, so I wouldn't make you do that. No.
I'm on your roll. It got to be your brother now, because I do not rock with Derek Carr. That Raiders, anything Raiders, burn it.
That's not a car I want to ride in. No, it'd probably be more than likely probably like Chris Olave, somebody like that.
Okay, I like Chris Olave. See, they ain't that bad. But don't worry, if it's basketball season, you're gonna have that. Bulls jersey, Bulls shirt, or make you get a Bulls sign to say DeRozan the GOAT or something like that. Yeah, maybe something like that. That work.
Yeah,
but yeah, I don't think we got too many questions in the chat for this time. But like I said, guys, we will be back on Friday, and obviously, like we're gonna have different shows in between during that. So Sean might pull up anytime Sean free. So obviously, Sean is one of the head honchos on the show. So if we do the football show, Sean just might pop up like, hey, hold on, let me in. Y'all out here capping, or you catch me talk about the Chargers. But like I said, you won't see us again until Friday. If you guys want any topic you want me and Sean to talk about, please let us know. We're going to chop up the shorts. That's it. So, man, SB Talk Sports, Real Takes Over Fake Debates, here with Sean Webb. And, man, I think that's it. We out, baby.